Hello. So today we're going to be going over a Kindred GNAR reroll game. It's been a while. This line, I think, is in lieu of many other lines. People don't play it as much. I always enjoy playing lines that aren't overly played or played by a lot of people, just because by nature of the way TFT works a lot of times, I'll play a comp and then somebody with a worse position than me will just play the comp and contest it, and I'll just be in a really bad spot. As opposed to being in like a really good spot playing something uncontested. That's just generally my play style, right? So I find that even myself, I overvalue, like when I see a position, I never think what's the meta comp with these items. I always think, oh yeah, there's like a specific niche situation, which costs me a lot of LP, but also lets me do really well sometimes. This is one of those examples. I think everybody knows that GNAR is really strong. Some people think that it's item locked, like Ornn item locked. It's the same with like Bard, right? Bard and GNAR reroll, there's certain reroll lines where they're insanely strong if you have a Ornn artifact or a particular augment setup that makes them really good. I think that they can work even without some of those setups as long as your spot is really good. Dryads are strong so long as you have Dryad stacking in very early, right? It's not something you can play starting in stage 3. You can't just be like, oh, I hit a bunch of GNARs in stage 3, I guess I'll play GNAR. It's like, no, the big checkbox that you have to think about is, do I have Dryad stacks? So what are Dryad stacks? Basically, when you kill units, you get a stack on the augment, and it will show you, if you hover the augment, it will say like how many units you killed. And based on the amount of units that you killed over the course of the game, your Dryads will gain more HP. And that's really important, especially in Dryads, because basically if you're making like a GNAR reroll, the thing that makes GNAR keep up with a lot of those late game boards is that by the time you get to late game, the GNAR has so much HP to work with that with certain augments and certain like item selections, you'll be so ahead of everybody else that it'll just be unkillable. And that will help your whole board do a bunch more damage because you basically have this frontline units that's basically one-shotting and killing a bunch of units, as well as backline units that then support him, and it goes really well, right? That's the idea behind the comp, like conceptually what you're trying to do, right? Here, I look at my augments. I don't see anything great. Long Distance Pals is okay. I just see, what's it called? Stars Are Born. So Stars Are Born, it gives you an upgraded 2-star version of a 1-cost as well as a 2-cost unit. And I kind of think very early on, it's like I have a Kindred, I have a GNAR, I have like Dryad opener kind of, and my items, if you look at them, I have a Bloodthirster, right? So I'm deciding, do I slam Bloodthirster, right? I can't really slam anything else. I can slam Bloodthirster on the GNAR, and I can just rock this, kind of like this, right? The idea behind the, oops, sorry, let me just make sure my inking is reset. Sorry, every time OBS crashes a lot, and then I have to reset it so that it actually shows up. The main thing that I'm thinking of is, let's say you make like a Bloodthirst. I'm just showing it for BT. You hear it a lot. There's two main things you can play, right? You can play Reapers, or you can play like I think like Dryad. I think that's like the only other option, right? Or Duelist, right? So Duelist, you need Keepers, right? If you're playing Duelist, you need either Keepers or Combat Caster. You need some sort of augment to enable it. Duelist is really hard to play if you don't have an augment. There are niche situations that if you have like a really strong Duelist opener, you can just play towards it, but Duelist is pretty difficult. Dryad, you need Dryad in early, so I have a check mark for that. And Reapers, you just need to go to level 8, and you're usually playing around Kayn and playing around Yone. Or you can reroll on level 7, you can reroll Yone and Kindred on level 7, right? So if in my start, the reason I commit towards making a Bloodthirster, I'm not committed Dryads in particular. This is the important thing. A lot of times people, like, I remember I never made a guide. I had a comment that asked, hey, could you make like a pivot guide? There's not many pivot options in this set. I think the pivot options are very hard. It's not in the traditional sense where it's like, oh, you could pivot between Lilia and Syndra, because a lot of times like you would have like AD flex or AP flex. There isn't really like an easy AP or AD flex unless your spot really dictates that to you. But stuff that you should always look towards is pivoting between like a reroll comp as well as pivoting towards a 4-cost comp, right? The idea is that, do I have items that I can reroll something if I don't have enough gold to make it to 4-cost, or if I'm too contested on the 4-cost line? And then likewise, if my reroll is contested, could I just push levels and play some kind of 4-cost carry to apply? That's a type of flexible play that you can kind of establish, right? Here, the reason that I took Stars Are Born, is because I said to myself, it's very reroll focused, the meta. I was talking about this the last couple days. I've been saying like, you know, I think that the rerolls are really strong in the current meta, and you kind of have to angle a reroll or else you'll fall really far behind. Here I'm angling the GNAR reroll. It kind of sucks. I slammed Bloodthirster on this GNAR early. With Stars Are Born, I forgot that it doesn't like give you 3 separate units. It just gives you the 2-star unit. So it upgraded a different GNAR. So now I have a GNAR 1 with an item and a GNAR 2 that's naked. That's my bad. I forgot. I haven't taken Stars Are Born, I think, the entire set. So I literally just forgot. I thought it was like that other augment where it's scale, like it gives you a bunch of copies of the unit, and then it would level up the one that's on board. That's my bad. But either way, I'll just roll and find a GNAR, whatever. That's fine. Or I'll sell it if I decide that I'm not committing towards GNAR reroll. The idea here is that if I found a Kindred, right? There's also a Kha'Zix, which I should probably hold on to in case I was playing Reapers. But because I bought the GNAR, now I'm kind of committed towards GNAR reroll. What I was going to do is if I saw a Kindred, I would just play Reapers, right? Like hitting a Kindred, that's the Stars Are Born. I can buy Kindred and Kha'Zix, and then I could just push levels and play towards the Reaper line if I really needed to. That was like the flexible options between the two of them. Because I found the GNAR already, I might as well just commit to GNAR. I have like 4 out of 9 GNARs. If I find 1 or 2 more, I can still pivot to Reapers. Mind you, I can still pivot to that line. But as you can see, I'm putting in the Dryad board. This is basically what it looks like. I'll pause the video for 1 second here. Just so I don't have to tab out and show you guys another thing. But basically what you're playing is you're playing Ghostly, which is very important. And then you're playing... wait, actually the board's not complete. Let me put in Kindred. And it should be Ornn as well. Last one is Ornn. Okay, whatever. This is your board on level 7 usually. Basically you have this or you have Ornn. Let's put Ornn. And then what does Ornn look like? He kind of has like horns and like a big beard. This is Ornn, right? I'm an artist. Ornn. Kind of has like a crown thing going on too, right? Yeah, that's Ornn. That's gotta be Ornn, right? That looks just like him. I'll give him a hammer too. There we go. That's Ornn, right? So this looks like this is so bad. All right, basically what you're playing is you're playing around 4 Ghostly with the Kayn, the Aatrox, the Shen, and the Alawi. And then you have your synergies for Warden. And then you'll also get Behemoth in after. And you also have Bruiser, right? Bruiser between the Aatrox and the Rek'Sai. The 4 Ghostly is very important, right? The 4 Ghostly helps manage your damage by quite a bit with this comp. So it's really important. And the Reaper, I've seen lines, I don't know which is the higher cap version, where you play towards 4 Reaper with a similar setup, right? But the 2 Reaper... that you get from playing Kindred and Kayn is usually enough, right? Now, this is a comp that usually on level 7, you can't fit the board. The board is complete on level 8. So typically when you're lower level, you're just trying to play like, you know, if you can, you try and just play 4 Dryad as early as possible. If not, you're just trying to play some synergies that help your board. Bruiser gives HP, which helps out the whole Dryad trait. They're all about scaling HP, so Bruiser is nice to have. And you're basically trying to position in such a way that your GNAR wraps or does a bunch of damage before dying, and then your Kindred kind of cleans up shop, right? And then you have Ornn as well, which late game on level 8, usually you find the Ornn or the Kayn, whichever one you hit, you either play 4 Ghostly or 4 Dryad, and then once you're level 8, you play both of them, and that's the board, right? It's pretty simple, right? You're basically just clicking all the Dryad units and then a bunch of Ghostly units. Very simple. Dryad and Ghostly, right? Ghostly upscale the damage well. Everything is put in a good spot. I'm just econ maxing, by the way. I'm not particularly win streaking, but I have a GNAR 2 and I have this GNAR. I'm just itemizing the lowercase GNAR. I don't know what you want to call it, the unupgraded GNAR, because he has the items already. And basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna econ max. And then stage 3, we're going to send it for this GNAR upgrade, right? I know I already have a GNAR upgraded over here. I have the upgraded GNAR right here. The thing is, I don't want to sell this GNAR because I might commit to the GNAR reroll. If I feel like my items lean me towards GNAR reroll, I'm just going to send it for... I'm going to level to 6 on 3-2, and I'm just going to try and find 2 GNARs, upgrade this dude, and then just sit, econ max, and then roll for 3 stars a little bit later, right? What I was going to say is that even though I'm not, like, winning every fight. Usually you want to win every fight when you're playing Dryads. I'll talk about it a lot later. My stage 2 is a little bit rocky, but I am killing a lot of units, right? That's the main thing with Dryad, is that you need to be killing units early. The early game Dryad stacks matter a lot. This is something that also matters a lot for Syndra, right? If I started with AP items, I could have committed to the same line, itemized Kindred, and then if I don't hit a lot of Kindreds, I can just pivot and play Syndra on level 8, right? Because as long as you have Dryad stacks early, it helps out that board as well, because in that case, you're using the Dryad to compensate for the Ornn being like your primary frontline unit and having a lot of HP on the Ornn, and then you put a Declaw on, and that's Biss. He just goes nuts in the front line, right? While we're here and while we're chilling for a little bit, I just want to say thank you for all the support. Thank you for everybody who subscribed to my YouTube channel and all of that. We have a short little interlude about the giveaway that I was talking about for a while. Hello. So we reached our sub goal of 500 YouTube subs, so we're going to be doing another TFT RP giveaway. You must be subscribed, join the Discord, and then join the giveaway in the TFT giveaway channel. This particular giveaway will end on July 17th. If you want to know how to join the Discord, there is a link to my Discord in each of the YouTube videos. I'll also make a comment about it. You click it, it'll launch the app. You go into the Discord, you'll see that you join the Wolfgang Discord. That's my stream and Twitch and YouTube Discord, and then I have the TFT giveaway channel, and then basically you'll just go here, you'll enter the giveaway by pressing the button, and I believe there'll be I'm deciding, I think there's gonna be only one winner this time for 1350 RP. So if you would like to enter, please make sure to enter the giveaway in the Discord. And thank you for watching my videos, and thank you for the support. All right, so we're back to the game. I'm basically trying to make 50 gold here as early as possible. I found an Alawi, which is great. Alawi's just such a good unit early game to be like a strong frontline unit. And then we have another Alawi. Here there's a Yone, so now I'm like contemplating. It's like, oh, I can sell the Gnar and itemize the Yone. Is that going to be better for me? I just say nah. I'm like, I might as well just commit to Gnar reroll. I feel like my spot's good for Gnar reroll here. As long as you're strong early, I just need to hit some like good combat augments. Maybe selling the Yone was a bit premature. I'm inclined to say that I maybe should have held on to the Yone. I think the best play would be to hold on to the Yone. I didn't need to sell him to make econ there. I sold him a little bit too early because I ended up getting dropped 2 other 3 costs that I could have sold instead. Holding on to the Yone gives you an adequate out. Now, I did narrow myself that I am very committed to Dryad reroll. A lot of it is also because of the YouTube channel. I said that I want to do a lot of rerolls for the rest of the week because I feel like rerolls are like the main crux of this patch, and I've been saying it for a while. So I because of all my other videos, every time I played a 4 cost, I was like, oh, I'm playing a 4 cost, but I think it's a reroll meta. I feel like now, because like these might be the last couple of videos for this set, because then I'm going to start focusing on set 12 starting next week, because it's going to be out in PBE next Wednesday, I think, right? I just wanted to make sure that the last couple tutorials and the last couple of VOD reviews are something that are a bit more topical for people that are still trying to grind the set. But anyways, we're hoping for like a Giga Augment here, right? Martyr is great. It's almost like an insta-click, but we'll see if we hit something better. Know Your Enemy isn't that great. Pandora's isn't that great. Ethereal Blades, like I have so many Shens. It would have been so nice to hit this earlier, but nah, I already committed a bow. I don't have items for it. So like I said, I'm just going to send my gold here. I'm going to send it, right? Usually with 3 costs, you need to stabilize on 3-2. If you're playing, with 2 costs. If you're playing a reroll, you need to stabilize. I'm rolling for Gnar. I said to myself, I'm going to roll till 30. There's a couple things on my board that I can sell, but I'm rolling really deep here. This is very risky, but the problem is I have my items committed on this Gnar 1, and I'm Gnar paired. So I just need to find 1 Gnar, and I think I'll be fine. Here, I probably shouldn't make this Shen, but if I do, it'll be kind of scary. So I don't want to make it, but I might have to. Shen isn't that important. I just make it because it helps me to find the Gnars and stuff. Making Shen 2 is pretty bad. The reason is like 3-star Shen doesn't matter that much with this comp. It helps you in hitting the Gnar and hitting the Kindred, but it's not particularly the greatest thing. Now my spot looks pretty not so good, but you have to understand that I have an extra Gnar 2 on my board over here. So I already have 5 Gnars. I'm like halfway there. If I can stabilize, like this guy's obviously really fucking strong. Double item committed on this. Good augments, right? I'm basically just going to roll a little bit more. I said that I roll till 10 this turn. If I don't hit it this turn, then I would just reestablish econ. This was obviously like a little bit of a low roll, a little bit difficult. I fucked up by putting these items on the GNAR early when I was Starzar board. I already talked about it that I didn't. I misunderstood. I forgot how it worked Starzar board. Now, if I find another Ghostly, I could drop one of the Dryads for Ghostly, but your mid-game board typically looks like this. Even though it's 3 Dryad, 3 Ghostly, the Bruiser and the Warden synergies are really good, and the units are all upgraded and they're all good units, so it's fine. I don't expect to lose any other fights this stage. My position's a little bit awkward. I should always position my GNAR slightly off to the side. Just because I think that the GNAR could easily get a wrap with this board. That's one of the big things about this board. You have a lot of frontline units, and you have a GNAR that's like a Giga unit. So a lot of times if you position him second row, right in the corner here or here, right? If this is first row, this is second row. If you position him right on the edge, second row, what will happen is a lot of times your frontline units will kind of hug all the units like this, and then the GNAR is going to walk over here, and then the GNAR is going to walk over here, and then GNAR is going to walk over here, and then GG, you fucking lost, you know? That's how you get a good wrap. But if you put the GNAR right in the middle, then, like, you know, he's gonna get hit a bunch. Let's go in terms of items as well, just in case, right? Just in case nobody's played this comp. I made many videos about it, but I'll just show stats in terms of this, right? If you're playing around 4 Dryad, GNAR 3, right? It doesn't average that high, as you can see. It's like a 4.6. This is when your spot has to be really fucking good for it. Obviously you need to hit the Ornn, and that's like the big thing. But it's okay. It's not the end of the world, right? This is why a lot of people don't end up playing it. If you go by craftable items, Gwinsu says that it's really good here, and a lot of these items say that they're really good because I think it's playing towards Syndra and not playing towards the Kindred GNAR. How do I put this? I need to put like 4 Ghostly. Like this. The average will probably be better. There we go. Now we're in the GNAR reroll line, right? So in the GNAR reroll line, Gwinsu and QSS used to be good on GNAR. I don't have the exclusion feature on because I don't pay for premium. But basically, if you don't know, there's an item called Vampiric Scepter, which is really fucking good on GNAR. Corrupt Vampiric Scepter. And usually when you make Corrupt Vampiric Scepter, you pair it with Gwinsu, right? So attacks deal an additional 50% attack damage. So basically you just want him to stack, and it gives a lot of starting attack speed, and this is how the GNAR heals. So a lot of times you go Corrupt Vampiric Scepter, Gwinsu, and QSS, and that's like an Ornn item specific build. And then there's also Silvermere Dawn build, which you just play Silvermere Dawn and then you just make like Sterix and Bloodthirster. If you're going by just craftables, so don't get baited by Gwinsu being really good. It's specifically with the Silvermere Dawn, if I'm not mistaken. QSS used to be good on GNAR before this. So I make Bloodthirster. I'm probably going to make a QSS because I remember it being really good. And Titans used to be good. I think Sterix is better now, but I'm down to just make Titans because GNAR has AP scaling anyways. That's really important during the fight. So having the Titans is sometimes, it used to be broken on him. They nerfed Titans a bunch. They nerfed a bunch of things. It's not the best. But I still just put it in because I think if you like, it's hard to search in the stats, but when I was doing this on my own time, I think the build still kind of works, right? Yeah, and then in terms of augments, as you can see, like some of them, Baboom is always really good. This was always a thing. It used to be bugged on Kindred. Now they fixed the bug and it's still really good. Heavy Hitters is the best, and then Martyr is really good. That's why I was saying Martyr is really good. Martyr recovers percentage HP. All the Dryads gain a bunch of HP. Heavy Hitters scales off HP. They all gain a bunch of HP. 2 healthy's okay. It's not the greatest. And then some of the other ones that you might think, like even like Mulched isn't up here, right? A lot of these things don't really matter. You just want like Giga Combat. Those are like the best things you'll ever hit. And then Baboom, obviously. That's like, you know, if we hit Baboom, we hit Baboom, right? But anyways, we're just playing through this round. We win fights, lose fights. All that matters is that you're stable, right? If you look at my HP, I'm pretty stable. It would have been ideal to win every single fight here. You know, I lost one fight here. I lost one fight here. It's not the greatest thing in the world. My econ is struggling. Oh, I didn't show the best part. Oh my god. Wait, I tabbed out during the best part. Okay, check this out. Ready? Do you want to see some bullshit? Guess what? Darius shows up. Guess what you want? 20 XP or 10 free rerolls. Guess what? I just fucking send it, baby. GNAR 3. I hate encounters. I'm so glad to see them go. This doesn't feel good. It feels good in the sense of like, yeah, I'm gonna win now. But it's like, it's so annoying. Look, and then people are scouting me, and it's like, yeah, I know. It's like, you know, the game fucking sucks. Because like, I think the Darius encounter though is fine, because the Darius encounter doesn't feel that bad because everybody else is gonna level up faster, right? It just specifically in my spot, having a GNAR 3 this early, like having a GNAR 3 on 3-6 when my econ was already not very good, there was a chance that I was gonna bot 4 this game, just if I didn't hit the GNAR 3 later, like if I just low rolled on stage 4. But it was still probably a good spot for a top 4. I have Martyr, which is a really good augment. So long as I get my last augment, which is really strong, I'll be in a really good spot. It's just now I'm kind of in a spot to win out, if that makes sense. Hitting this GNAR early, I just kind of took away the risk of the comp. Now I can just focus on pushing levels. I could roll for Kindred, yes. But I don't have items for her, so it's not the greatest thing to do. But the main thing that I'm saying is that, like, remember I said, like, this board is complete on level 8? Remember, on level 8, you have Kayn plus Ornn for 4 Ghostly, and 4 Dryad. Right? Remember I talked about this? I definitely told you guys about this a little bit earlier in the video. Because this Darius encounter occurred, I just chose the rerolls. Leveling and reroll works out to the same thing. It's just in this specific spot, guaranteeing a GNAR early is really strong. And then all I have to do now is just push levels, right? Here, this is where I made the mistake. So I take the Giant's Belt and I reforge it. I should have taken the glove and reforged. I want to hold on to this tier because it could be a Kindred item, right? Kindred really likes blue buff, right? That's like one of her best items. Could also turn into a Shiv if I want to prioritize Kindred damage. Ideally, I make Shred at one point, but I'm probably gonna make like an Even Shroud somewhere later. But that's what I'm saying. The belt could have been Even Shroud or Sterix. Sterix was the better GNAR item. I reforged it and it gave me a QSS. QSS is fine. I know QSS, I was talking, it's like a Vampiric Scepter build. I think even before that, before those stats, I don't know how to exclude it properly to give you a good thing. It's kind of like a trust me bro. In the past, before Vampiric Scepter was a build that was viable when the item was dog shit, this line you used to make QSS on GNAR. It was like one of his best items. I hit heavy hitters. GG. Check my hand. Good game. It's over. I'm GNAR 3 heavy hitters, scaling Dryad. Heavy hitters, what it does is basically the amount of HP that you have. It does bonus damage. I have a comp that infinitely scales with HP. I just have to live, right? If I make it to stage like 6, the game's over, right? Everybody's on a clock now, and I have a bunch of HP, so we're fine. That's what I mean by the game's over. No matter what fights I win or I lose, unless I giga low roll and I don't hit any upgrades or I don't hit anything, like obviously there's a Kayn player, so I might not hit Kayn for a while. Ornn might be taken out of the pool a lot by some people, right? Barring anything crazy happening, it's almost like a guaranteed win. Because as long as I live to my Dryad scale, they get harder to kill each time. Now I have an augment. Not only do I have an augment that heals them, which makes them harder to kill, I have an augment that now makes them do bonus damage the longer this game goes on. So I'm infinitely scaling my damage and my HP. My tankiness and my attack is going up for the rest of the game. So they have to find a way to kill me fast and kill me quickly. And every fight that I win puts like the nail closer to coffin. Anyways, this guy took reinforcement. He's going for Lilia 3. So, you know, I was kind of joking that the game might be over. The game is not over. There's a lot of game left to be played because I don't know what the fuck's going on. Why would you take... I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So this guy, the reason I don't get it, this is what I'm going to say. It's scary. He might just hit Lilia 3 out of nowhere. He took the Sage augment, right? He took the Road Less Taken, which means that he's trying to push levels really easily, which is really good, right? If you're playing around the Sage comp. But there's like another Lilia player. This guy's a Lilia player. He's not playing Lux reroll because basically 2 people were angling Lux reroll. I didn't talk about this game because I was talking about other stuff. This guy was angling Lux reroll, but then there's another guy that has like way more Luxes and Jannas, which we'll see later. So this guy's gonna pivot into Lilia. He just didn't get there yet. And then this guy, I don't know, he's like giga griefing him. Instead of taking like maybe he had no augment choices, like there was nothing he could have taken. But like he takes reinforcement when he has a bunch of gold and he already took like an econ leveling augment. And now it's like he's in this spot where it's like, is he like, he's not gonna level to go 9. If he goes to 9, then he probably won't hit Lilia 3 because he wants to roll as early as possible before people start holding it. But then if people start holding it, like, there's already a guy holding it because there's a guy trying to play Lilia. So I don't get it. So like, I'm just stressed now because I'm like, I have to scout this guy every turn because it seems like he's not gonna hit Lilia 3 in my opinion. But out of nowhere, he can just hit Lilia 3. Like, I don't know. He has to find the last Lilias, right? Because this guy's already found one, and there's only 10 in the pool, so you need 9. There's 10 in the pool, you need 9 of them. So he needs to find all the remaining Lilias in order to hit Lilia 3 now. Until this guy dies, until the other Lilia player dies. But for me at least, it's like, okay, I need to pay attention, because it's not, I can't just sit here and win the game like I usually do with Dryad. I leveled to 7 here. I'm rolling for either Ornn or Kayn. They both spike me. I know the odds are pretty low, but I can also roll for Kindred and Shen. That's why I committed a little bit of gold here. I found the Ornn, and I'm going to stop rolling, basically. That's the idea here. I could roll a little bit more, but basically I'm 1 off Kindred, so I could have rolled on level 6. I decided to level and roll on 7 because I would rather split some of those 2-cost odds with the chance of hitting a 4-cost, right? Because both the 4-costs are what really spike my board really hard. If I didn't hit the Ornn, then I would probably just play like anything that would give me a little bit of benefit in front line. But yeah, this is the Reaper player. I don't expect this guy to beat me. He might beat me. Wait, this Yone is going to come in hot. Okay, no, I'm fine. This is what I mean, right? As you see this fight, this is without scaling, right? Like, this guy, unless he hits like a Yone 3 and he Giga upgrades his board, my GNAR was able to like tank 3 Reapers hitting him, and was able to tank them all, right? That's only gonna get worse, right? He's only gonna gain more damage and more HP as the fight goes on. But yeah, I'm just win streaking. I'm sure there's gonna be 1 or 2 bad matchups. Here I'm only 3 Ghostly. Aatrox is really important because he gives Bruiser, and Bruiser, especially with heavy hitters and Martyr, it makes it so that my whole board does more damage and gains more HP. I find a way though. I was rolling a little bit because I was like rolling for the Kindred and the Shen, right? I wanted to roll till like around 30 and then I was going to sell some units. But I found a Hui. So I bought the Hui here because in 2 turns I can get a Kindred. I have a lot of HP to work with. Instead of having to roll deep on level 7, I'm just going to push levels now and go level 8. Because fuck the Shen, who cares if I hit Shen 3 or not. I'll hold on to them just in case because, you know, I have it. And it's close, you know, maybe it works out. Also, is this guy another Lilia player? Are there 3 Lilia players and this guy was going for Lilia 3? I'm so confused. Anyways. We have these guys. In 1 turn, I get the Kindred. And basically, that's basically the idea, right? Because I'm losing a lot of damage because of Bruiser, right? I'm basically losing every unit on my board basically loses 100 damage from heavy hitters, like 100 bonus damage, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, that's really bad. My board is definitely significantly weaker without the Aatrox. Don't look at it as, oh, the synergies don't matter because it's only 3 Ghostly, it's not 4 Ghostly. It's like, no, it's like a frontline unit and it's a damage dealer. It's like, that's a lot. I think I just make blue buff Nashers here. I have this bow, I have this sword, which is kind of sucks, you know, because like sword, I really want like a frontline item. Usually the next person you itemize is Ornn. You can also itemize Kayn, but you know, I'd itemize Kayn, you know, if I had one. I don't because there's another guy playing Reapers and he's holding a bunch of Kayns. I might never hit a Kayn, who knows, right? So I don't want to make like a Kayn item and put it on somebody else. It's like I'd rather just itemize Ornn, but this isn't necessarily the best Ornn item. Here, I just decided to sack the item anvil. This is really bad. I thought that I was going to beat this guy no matter what. I don't know what happens here, but I get fucking railed. Like, I thought I was strong as shit when I was playing against this guy. I think his augments just, like, I have no armor shred. Which I still didn't make armor shred, by the way, but I just think that I have so much damage that I would win this. And I, like, narrowly lose this fight because the Janus shield timing comes up right in time. It's so annoying because I literally was like, oh, you know, I won't pick up this component anvil because, like, Kindred's going to clear my bench next turn anyways. I should be fine, down an item. But down an item and down the Aatrox is, like, that's definitely a diff there. the Aatrox in would have won me that fight, and the component Anvil would have probably won me that fight. It was so close. But like I said, I was playing a little bit risky. It just guarantees my Kindred 3 and allows me to level. I found an Azir in my shop. I'm not putting in Azir right now because my next in is going to be Kayn, right? Kayn ups my Kindred damage by a lot, and I have Kindred 3 now. I don't have Shred. I have Anti-Heal, but I don't have Shred or Sundering. That is fine. With this comp, especially if you have heavy hitters, it's like you don't want to ever put, like, Last Whisper is really bad on a GNAR. It's okay on Kindred. Like, the stats say Last Whisper in this comp is good on Kindred. Because it's nice to just have Shred on somebody, and Kindred spreads the Shred really well. The problem is that you kind of don't want to make either of those items. You just want to make Even Shroud. I didn't get Even Shroud components. Then in terms of like Shred, sorry, I call Shred both of them. I know Sundering is for armor, Shred is for magic resist. You never want to make like magic resist because, like, well, you could if you're playing around Kindred, but because I'm playing around GNAR as well, it's kind of like wasted items. I'd rather just make like full damage because, like, even though my Kindred will do a little bit more damage, it's like it's probably better just to have like proper GNAR items and proper Kindred items. And then hopefully at one point in the game, I can itemize this Ornn with either a Spark or a Even Shroud. That's typically what you end up doing. Or if you have Shen 3, you give Shen 3 a Spark or an Even Shroud, right? Now I'm really strong. I have a Kayn. I have all of these dudes, right? We're good. I made Edge of Night on Ornn, by the way. It's just because those were my items, right? It's Dragon coming up, so there's no longer going to be component anvils anymore. It's just going to be full completed items. Edge of Night is probably better on Kayn, so I could have waited and put it on Kayn. I understand that, and I understand the follies of my mistake. That turn, my thought process was, I don't care, I'm just going to be as strong as possible here. Ornn artifacts on Carousel. This one's a little bit awkward because there is Even Shroud here, there is Even Shroud here, but I kind of don't want either of those items, right? Like, I could get set, but like Fish Bones, it's like I'd rather just take Diamond Hands, right? I'm playing for win out here, so I'm playing as greedy as possible. I should have probably put this Edge of Night on Kayn. Let's be real here. The problem is I didn't know that I didn't know if I was gonna hit a Kayn, and I didn't want to like leave my item on bench anyways. Edge of Night isn't that bad on Ornn from a theoretical standpoint. I'm sure in the stats it says it's bad, or maybe in the stats it says it's good situationally. The idea behind Edge of Night for me is the same as I do in a lot of other games. If my Ornn lives longer, he will drop more items to my team. So it is okay to make this guy get de-aggroed, and then people attack the Shen. The Shen will stack Ghostly. The Shen will be fine. Having my Ornn live late into the round, as long as he gets another cast off, it's worth it, because he drops an item on somebody, which will help my board out in general. The same reason I put Diamond Hands. This guy's double good. Caesar, look. He would have died to Azir. Boom. Edge of Night. He's still alive. He would have died again. Boom. Diamond Hands. Still alive. Now, mind you, the rest of my board is dead, so I'm not really getting any value off of the Ornn item drops because he's not dropping any items to anybody. But it's a good idea. It's cool. I found a Lilia also, by the way. I feel really bad for the Lilia player that wanted to play. Like, I think the guy, like, Giga griefed him. This guy. Like, he got a top 4, yes. But I don't think he won a single fight. He's just, like, bleeding out entirely. And I think, like, there's that other Lilia player that just didn't find any Lilias. And I feel bad for that guy because, you know, you just had a guy Giga grief you for, like, no reason. Because I don't even think reinforcement helps him. He's not hitting Lilia 3. I even found a Lilia now, so, like, it's fucking over. Level 8. One off Shen. One off. I'm Shen paired. Like, I'm Shen 1 off. I'm 1 off Kayn 2. I took Deathblade on Carousel because of the Ornn artifact that I thought would be better on Ornn. So, you know, we're just going to rock it like this, right? This is what I was saying about wrapping, right? You see, if you position your GNAR over here, a lot of times he'll de-aggro here, he'll attack here, he'll attack here, he'll kill everything. This was the guy that beat me the other time when I didn't have my board fully optimized. He still didn't high roll, right? I feel like this guy's spot for Lux Janna wasn't that good. And he's just not, like, I don't know what he's doing. Like, I think because he was contested, he pushed levels, right? But, like, his board is so shit. Like, he still doesn't have Lux 3, he still doesn't have Janna 3. He has Zyra 3. Which I don't even think Zyra is what you're supposed to play on the board, right? Like, I feel like she doesn't fit in very nicely, Zyra. So I don't know what's going on here. But it's good for me. The reason I'm pointing out these boards being slightly weaker is because I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of reference in order of how strong my board is, right? If I'm saying other boards are weaker, note that if they were like really capped out, really strong, I wouldn't be as successful with this comp. This comp isn't the greatest comp, but as you can see, when I put in the stats, it averages like a 4-ish, right? Which is fine. It's not like, you know, Reaper, like general 4 Reapers with like a Kane 2 averages like a 3.8. So, you know, like if you can play around Kane 2, but I just don't want the heat. I didn't find an Ornn item in there. There was just Bramble Vest as a tank item. Bramble helps against this Reaper matchup, but it doesn't help against the other guy. So it becomes like a 50-50. This guy's holding a bunch of units. I kind of don't care. I don't think they're going to hit a 3-star by the time the game's over, just judging by their econ and spot. So I'm kind of letting off the gas pedal. This guy's awkwardly strong, by the way. The Silas, like you'll see, it wastes a lot of time with my my GNAR, which is really scary. But I don't think this guy outcaps me. Because as soon as I have 3 items on Ornn or 3 items on Kane, I think I'm like way stronger than him. So and the longer the game goes on, look, we're already on stage 6. This is what I was saying. If we make it to stage 6, I win the game. That's kind of what I'm thinking in my head. Right? I'm starting to hold Ornns here because I don't think this guy's going to hit. But he's holding like every 4 cost in the game. He's holding Gallios. He's holding fucking Kanes. He's holding Silases. Right? He's thinning out the pool way more than I am. So I'm kind of down to just natural and Ornn 3 if he just lets it happen. And here I'm just repositioning a little bit. Now I'm fighting against the Reaper guy, which is really strong. I'm not sure if I should center my GNAR in this fight in particular. This fight, I'm not wrapping anybody, right? There's nothing to wrap. It's like melee versus melee. So I know that band for band, like if that's what the cool kids say these days. Band for band, my GNAR kills this Kane straight up. It's just a matter of, does my GNAR get obliterated by like getting overwhelmed by everybody? This was a little bit more stressful than I thought. Obviously it's very strong. As you can see, my Ornn, he cast an item. Kindred's still alive, full HP. The fight wasn't close. He's 50 gold, level 9 with a lesser duplicator. I don't know what's gonna happen in this game, so I don't think that's the best idea. I'd rather my GNAR just kill the shitters and stack up some stacks. Also, if you want Ornn to drop an item on a specific unit, he drops it to the closest unit. So what I could additionally do is put my Kane next to the Ornn and make sure that the Ornn drops items onto the Kane. I don't feel like doing that because I think it griefs my position too much. This guy has too much melee damage that I don't want to isolate my Ornn or isolate my Alawi. Because the thing is, my Ornn has Edge of Night. So if my Ornn gets de-aggroed and then they just explode onto the Kane, I lose a lot of damage. So this is what I mean by here. I still frontline my GNAR to try and get my stacks early. I put him in front of all the shitter units because I just want to like delete them all. And I pair my GNAR with my Kane. I don't have Shred or anything, but it's fine because, you know, I'm just going to obliterate everything. This fight looked like a little bit closer. My Kindred died a lot faster. He still has a lot of gold to roll, so it's very scary. So just be ready. I would like Declaw for Ornn, but it doesn't really do much in that matchup. So I just take the thing. Declaw is really strong, by the way, just because Ornn scales a bunch of HP. Declaw recovers maximum percent HP, like percentage of maximum HP. So I'm kind of down to take that, but any tank item is fine here. A tank item is really good on Ornn, because like, you know, having my Ornn live long, if they get stuck on the Ornn, it's all good. My Dryad stacks are huge. I'd rather have Ornn 3 items than Kane 3 items, because I don't think I need more damage. I think I just need survivability. And I'm just rolling, you know, maybe I hit this 3. I'm holding on to a couple copies of Ornn. Maybe I hit Ornn 3. I hit Shen 3. That's fine. Repositioning a little bit, make my Shen a little bit more towards the middle. And yeah, so I'm hoping that they get a bunch of ghostly stacks. Same thing applies. He has Recon 2 now, so it's a little bit scarier. But like I said, I'm 48 HP. It's stage 6-5. Every fight is like one more nail in the coffin in terms of... I should have highlighted how much HP my units have. But yeah, I don't see this fight ever going in this guy's favor. He could like maybe hit a 3-star, but he just chose to go level 9. But even if he hit a 3-star, I think I can probably hit Ornn if he doesn't start holding Ornns. So I'm kind of down. It all worked out. Oh, my game crashed. I remember. That's why I froze there. But yeah, that was Kindred GNAR reroll. Again, I've played it many times this set. It was one of my more favorite comps early in the patch just because I like scaling augments. Hopefully it was informative, the things I was talking about. I was kind of yapping a lot here. but I'm trying to make it a little bit more exciting, and hopefully that was a good video. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe. If you liked this Kindred GNAR comp, you can try it out in your own game. Just remember, a lot of the strength came from augments, right? Having really good enabling augments. Obviously, hitting heavy hitters was insanely good. If I didn't hit heavy hitters or martyr, the chances are I end up closer to a 4th, right? Which is what I was originally playing for anyways. If you wanted to and you didn't want to commit GNAR Kindred, you could always play Reapers from that setup, right? Look at my GNAR items, look at his Kane items, they're pretty much identical, right? Look at the Yone items and the GNAR items, they're pretty much identical, right? You can kind of play towards those lines instead, and Kindred is a good pivot point because it's still the same unit and you still want this, so it's an easy pivot, right? There's a lot of shared units here, and you just have to like replace some of them with some of the other ones, and you can easily pivot the board. If you end up committing to the GNAR reroll, just make sure you have a lot of Dryad stacks, right? Hitting GNAR 3 early is very, very essential. So you have to make sure you have a lot of GNARs before you commit to it. I mean, I felt like I was in a good GNAR spot from my experience, having like 6 GNARs in stage 2, with 50 gold going to stage 4. 6 GNARs stage 3 with 50 gold going into stage 4. Typically, to me, is good. You only have to find 3 more GNARs on a roll down on 4-1. You might not cap as high, you might just get a 4th, but as long as on 4-1 you have like in excess of 50 gold to roll down, you can make it work. I had a little bit less than 50 gold, obviously, but that's because Darius encounter occurred and I bought a bunch of GNARs and I hit GNAR 3. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.